6.
We begin, though, with the string of killings that has gripped our community and now the nation.
4 men, all Muslim, all shot to death here in Albuquerque. The last killing happened just before this last weekend, and Albuquerque police believes they could be connected. But they say it's too early to call this the work of a serial killer just yet.
But there was some movement in this case just over the weekend. APD released these images yesterday of a car that could be connected to the case.
Police are asking the public to be on the lookout for this Volkswagen. It's a Passat or a Jetta. They say tips from the public could be crucial for this case in preventing any more violence.
Most often in these types of cases, it's tips from the public that help us solve cases. We urge people not to take things into your own hands. If you see this vehicle or you know who might possibly be driving it, call police.
These are the 4 men at the center of this case. Mohammed Zahir Ahmadi, he was killed last November. Aftab Hussein, Mohammed Afzal Hussein, and Naeem Hussein were all murdered over the past 2 weeks. We're going to take a much closer look at the timeline of this case in just a moment.
First, though, we are seeing more efforts to keep our Muslim community safe as police try and track down whomever is responsible.
Tamara Lopez has been speaking with a city councilor whose constituents are legitimately afraid to be out in public alone.
And Tamara, he says, at this point, it's all hands on deck here.
Yeah, that's right, you guys. City Councilor Pat Davis says he's been in touch with the feds asking for all the support he can get. And so far, he's been very pleased with the response.
If there's a hub for the Islamic community in New Mexico, it's right here in southeast Albuquerque.
City Councilor Pat Davis says his district has sadly been the focal point of the 4 Muslim men killed. Now, he says, the state and city have come together to protect our local Muslim community.
You're going to see a larger police presence. Until this case is solved, you're going to see more police presence at these Islamic businesses. Our neighborhoods in Southeast are going to see a few extra officers from the state police and others, and that's exactly what we should be doing, both to deter the shooter, but also to make our neighborhoods feel better.
APD has added mobile command centers to increase police visibility. But support has become national. President Biden tweeting out, "These hateful attacks have no place in America." And the national group, the Council on American Islamic Relations, has offered a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever is behind these murders.
Be vigilant, be safe, watch your back, report anything suspicious, but carry on living your lives confidently, boldly, publicly, and fearlessly. We cannot let anti-Muslim extremists and bigots stop us from practicing our faith and living our lives.
Councilor Davis says he doesn't remember anything of this scale happening in Albuquerque.
I was a police officer in D.C. during the D.C. sniper case, right? That was a case where somebody was, targeting folks randomly. As a police officer, we stood out in front of schools and in front of targeted businesses to be sure life could continue on normal.
But Davis says one thing is for sure. The city will not stand for this kind of targeted violence.
This could happen to anybody, and we have to fight back. We have to stand up.
And Albuquerque Police has now set up a website where you can submit any information you may have on all of these murders. We will have that link for you up on our website, KOB.com. Back to you guys.
All right, Tamara, thank you. Of course, we want to give you a better idea of where and when these killings happen. So this map is going to help us kind of lay it all out for you. All of the murders, as you can see, happened in an area south of I-40, just west of University, and then east of Wyoming, in the centralized location here. Police say the first of these is possibly linked to a killing that happened all the way back in November. So in this case, it was 62-year-old Mohammed Zahir Ahmadi who was killed. He was originally from Afghanistan, and he was actually killed outside the shop he owned with his brother at San Mateo and Mountain. Like the other 3 victims, he was Muslim, and Tommy Lopez spoke with his brother last week.
It's very hard for me. Very hard for me. Why? Why they are shooting Muslim?
Does that make you angry?
Of course I'm angry. I don't care. It's not my brother. Why they kill a human being?
It was about 8 months before police say the second of these possibly linked killings happened. So let's take you back nearly 2 weeks ago, July 26th. In this case, 41-year-old Ahmed Hussein was shot at a home on Rhode Island near Copper. He and the next two victims that we're going to talk about were all from Pakistan originally. Now, just 1 week after Ahmed's death, let's take you back here and give you the next look here. That takes us to August 1st, okay? This was last Monday. 27-year-old Mohammed Afzal Hussein was the victim in this case, just 27 years old. He was killed outside his home at Cornell and Garfield. Now, Mohammed Afzal was a rising star in our community. He earned a master's degree from UNM and served as an advisor on the Board of Regents. He worked on political campaigns and served as the City of Espanola's Planning and Land Use Director. We also spoke to his brother last week.
I raised him as guardian. He was my younger brother, but he was like my son. He had big dreams. When he smiled, I smiled. I said, look, this is my success. My younger brother is my success.
The most recent killing came not even a week later. For that, we take you right here, August 5th. 25-year-old Naeem Hussein was killed Friday night in a parking lot of Lutheran Family Services on Truman, just north of Central. Now, Naeem, as you see here, was also originally from Pakistan. A spokesperson for the Muslim community says Naeem was killed after attending the funeral service for two of the other victims. And his family spoke with NBC News.
It's devastated. Being shot in that brutal manner, it is just the most un-American thing to do to anybody.
And there is a huge showing of support for Albuquerque's Muslim community following these tragic killings. We're going to show you how some national leaders are getting involved coming up tonight at 6:30.
This case is not going away anytime soon. Of course, we're going to be pushing for more answers.
Stick with KOB for the latest updates as we get them into our newsroom, and head over to KOB.com to watch our full coverage on this developing investigation and everything we know about the four men who've lost their lives.